Interesting matchup here. There's going to be a lot of item play, at least from Zexyyy here, and I know the PSI Magnet is probably going to help with the bombs, but the rest of the projectiles, I'm not quite sure how Xero's going to manage with.
Ooh, we could see that charge down smash at the ledge, not going to be coming to fruition for him. But the hero spin, shielding every hit and then getting the grab straight out of that.
Interesting tech.
Yeah, youngling players love to go for that hero spin at any point that they want to try to get a read on the stage or in that case in the platform. But I'm really glad that Xero was able to see through that. He's been pretty consistent with these grabs, and it's only three. We still have 3 stocks on the board, but it's great to see that he's able to find confirms like that one.
Yep, definitely. That's one of those like genres of character where like if you're at ledge, they're clicking back air, and you know Zexyyy jumping right into that. But you know, not too far away. We're like one good like fair confirm away from taking this first stock off of Xero, but Xero gonna make Zexyyy work for it. I say as Zexyyy instantly gets the fair confirm.
Got the fair, not going to be enough for the stock just yet. Perhaps a bomb into fair, something like that. At 121%, you've got such a floaty character like Ness. That second fair is not going to be enough to do it either. Having the arrows trying to stall out Xero's recovery as much as possible, but Zexyyy opting to chase him to the other side of the ledge.
Yeah, I'm liking this play from Xero here. You are at death's door and like you're winning, so you really don't have any reason to approach and force these interactions, which any good hit from Zexyyy here will spell death. Any good hit here will spell death for Xero here.
You know, Zexyyy could have taken that stock if he just pummeled him a little bit more. You know, the F-throw would have been enough on that side of the stage, but wasn't able to close. Tried to get it with the up air, and that's such a big hitbox, but it just wasn't successful. And that second F-throw going to be enough to take that stock. 55% is not a horrible amount of extra credit for Xero either, but Zexyyy definitely wants to chip away at Xero's damage once again because he let him get to way too high of a percent that first stock.
Yep. And Zexyyy definitely does have these setups with the projectiles, but Ness, being a smaller character, definitely going to be a lot harder to hit those on. Also, Xero's been doing a great job of just playing not too committally here. It is probably going to have to start here now that we are slowly but surely losing our lead. Actually, more than slowly. But
yeah. No, and it's exactly what we were missing from the first stock. We're just seeing sort of like the stray arrow here and there, the bomb, the boomerang, anything to sort of chip away at that damage. And Zexyyy has been able to do so successfully. Xero, however, going to be finding the PK fire into the pool. There we go. What a great stock. And as I was saying, just being able to build off of those is so important for him. There we go, having the boomerang into the fair for Zexyyy, going to be evening things up once again, just what he was missing.
So back to even game here. Both players trying to get their combos started. That hero spin is going to confirm into up air at most percents here, so whether you're 0, whether you're at 100, that's going to be a consistent option to go for. Although we've not really been too accurate with them. I've seen a couple of Zexyy's sets prior. We have a very mixed accuracy rating. It kind of depends on the day, like whether or not Zexyy's really able to consistently hit those up Bs. And you know, today just might not be the day. We might just not be too warmed up. But as we're saying that, Xero is starting to pull out this comeback here, which not too far of a deficit, but against a player as competent as Zexyyy, it is definitely impressive.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Zexyyy relying a lot on his boomerang, or especially as like a tool for in case there is an overextension. And Snick, just as you were saying, he hasn't been hitting those hero spins as much, but exactly at a moment when it matters, he was able to get it, and it was off of the bomb extension.
Yeah, not so much as a combo starter, but as a combo ender. We do have that on lock. I really hope Mike does not pick this up, like, at all. Hold on. Nice. Hey, man. Enjoy the nice, like, hour of it not being, like, scorching in here. Now, going to Hollow Bastion, I actually really like this stage pick. I feel like as Xero, you're going to benefit more from the layout of the stage. You are able to hold that center like really effectively, and the blast zones, I actually learned this recently, aren't that far out. They just kind of feel that way. Yet again, not finding that up B. So I like Xero. Oh wait, no, this is. I'm right. Okay, I'm tweaking right now. And yet again, we're not finding these up B confirms, but luckily, not getting punished at all for it.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but he's 1 for 3 right now in this specific game. He was able to get the first one, but at this percentage, of course, the hero spin isn't going to be enough to take a stock just yet. But if he's able to bring Xero to oblivion, he drops it again for the 4th time. Xero not able to get the PK fire like he wanted, but that hero spin will absolutely take the stock.
Yep, found the down tilt we need to get this first stock on the board. Now, Xero playing much more aggressive here. You are down, so the onus is going to be on you to make a lot more of these approaches. But Zexyyy, definitely ready for it. Young Link is a character that is going to benefit a lot when the interactions happen more so on his terms. So, especially against a character like Ness, this advantage state is going to be pretty rough to come back from.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate for Xero because he's gotten a lot of damage racked on him, and punishing the down smash with the hero spin into the up air. Yeah, that's going to be Zexyyy taking away that stock from Xero, who is on his final legs now.
Yeah, 128% on the board, and we are letting these projectiles fly, making it just impossible for Ness to approach us, and tagging on some pretty decent percent in the process, just getting all of these confirms, finding the fair, not quite gonna be taking it, but it's looking really rough for Xero in this game number 2.
Yeah, this is such a different change of pace from the first game that we saw, where it seemed as though they were keeping things very even.
That's unfortunate.
Really sad SD there from Xero, but Zexyyy going to be taking game number 2 and showing a different Zexyyy, quite honestly, than what we saw in game number 1.
For sure. I feel like we kind of just, game 1, we were feeling each other out. Game 2, I think the game plan is a lot more on lock, and we're seeing a much more confident play style from Zexyyy into this matchup.
Yeah, and Zexyyy, I think game number 1, we didn't see as much of him being an aggressor, perhaps. Young Link is a character who has to have a lot of his arsenal set up previously before he's able to get a lot of his confirms. But this is something that perhaps maybe he wasn't using it so much in game number 1, but now Xero actually going to be the first one to take him to this side of the ledge, not going to be able to get any real meaningful damage onto Zexyyy just yet, but wasn't able to punish him for that first up B, gets the second one, and is now in a ledge trap.
Yep, I've really been liking Xero's usage of the PSI magnet here, kind of delaying the airtime a little bit. It's been working wonders for mixing up the timing and giving him the opportunities he needs to really force these neutral interactions. Because Ness character, really good button. Oh, I didn't know that hitbox ran out. That was odd.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great punish with the hero spin to punish the down smash. But we can see some of these PK fires into the dash attack from Xero, looking to take a little bit to take Zexyyy even closer to the end of the stock. This is pretty decent kill percent for both of these characters, respectively. And actually, that back air is going to do it. It didn't look as though it would from that side of the stage.
Maybe Zexyyy was trying to disengage there, so maybe he's holding out. But you know, if you're Xero, you're taking it. You're holding on to this. Never mind, I didn't say anything. We are actually on even stock now. Getting a really good catch with these up airs here is Xero. And okay, we do have a reflector. I did not count on us actually using it, but if you have it, and you know, having amazing tracking on Zexyyy here. Just kind of running in. Okay, finally getting caught by that up B. And honestly, as I was saying that, Zexyyy did a really good job of evening the percent back up and is now in the lead here, whipping that hero spin, not getting punished too hard for it though.
Ooh, gets the final hit of the up smash, but it's not going to be enough to take the stock. Zexyyy trying to retreat back to this other side of the corner. I've noticed that Zexyyy does significantly better when he is in the center, keeping Xero on whatever other side of the platform, whereas when it's Xero who is chasing Zexyyy to the corners, he is the one who's coming out on top in all of those situations. Dash attack, not going to be enough just yet, but especially if you follow it up, that's going to be another stock for Xero.
Yep, and that didn't even look like a very charged PK flash, but I guess at this high percent, that is going to be taking it. Now, small child with rage, what do we do with this? We get PK fire. Didn't have the amount of damage off here. Zexyyy did keep the jump, so we are still alive, aided by the fact that uppy has pretty good horizontal range. I love the wait on the tether there. Wait for the down smash to go away before we go back up. That is really smart. Nice little three-piece there with the forward air as Zexyyy keeps the stock count back up.
Yeah, we want to, you know, if you are Xero right now, you want to be able to put on even more of this extra credit as much as possible. Down air going to be doing 20% for Zexyyy, who has to get off of this ledge if he wants any choice to survive at all. Going to be missing that PK fire, but it is the up air that's going to take the first game for Xero. 2-1 right now.
Yep, we have a series on our hands in Xero. All around the board, like in each of these games, even though we're down 2 games, I've really been liking these up airs. We've just been really good at catching jumps, even like if it's from ledge, if it's from platform, just any and all jumps, Xero is going to be ready with that up air and is perfectly able to make the most usage out of it. I did not catch the stage choice here. I was yapping. Okay, Town and City? Or no, this is Smashville.
Yeah, so Smashville, we're going back to a stage with the single middle platform. It's going to have different ceiling, different sides as well. You've actually got a longer left side than you do the right side on Smashville. But with that being said, we do see a bit of an early lead coming out from Xero, not able to get that hero spin, which is big for Zexyyy, as now Xero is keeping him pretty firmly in the corner.
Yep, this has always been kind of a problem situation for Zexyyy, just getting off this ledge. Xero's pressure has been immaculate the whole time. Gonna be in an upbeat into up here to close out the stock number 1. Only 4% on the board. This has been a very dominant first stock from Xero there.
It feels as though he is finally learning his win condition. You know, these first couple of games were Zexyyy sort of getting his warm-up, feeling each other out a bit. Xero has adapted phenomenally well in this fourth game, rather.
For sure. I've noticed we've been using a lot more PK fire, which, like, obviously Ness, you expect that, but there have been certain, like, situations where you wouldn't even think PK fire is useful, like especially at ledge, but it's been doing a great job of just applying more pressure on Zexyyy, even if it's not necessarily hitting, like right there. And it's just been forcing Zexyyy to press options that are unwise, and Xero's been punishing them perfectly this whole time.
Yeah, getting a grab. This could be something that Zexyyy can make some mileage off of, but it is actually going to get interrupted by Xero instead, putting him off stage exactly where he wanted him. Zexyyy still holding on to his resources, able to recover with the hero spin as we are at the center of the stage, interrupting the dash attack. Instead, we are going to be re-establishing some of our stage control and keeping Zexyyy in further disadvantage.
Yep, seeing some signs of life from Zexyyy here. That forward air is going to be taking it. We do have a hill to climb, but, you know, I've seen worse situations, so I'm not going to count Zexyyy out here entirely. Looking at more. Oh.
That
Okay,
down
good.
smash, not enough to hit the Zexyyy actually decided to drop down instead of having to deal with Xero because he was getting caught by that up air. But because he still returned to ledge, he wasn't waiting him out. Xero was able to take that stock right out from under him. And I want to highlight especially Xero's gameplay off stage has been on point versus Zexyyy. That's where he's been able to get a lot of his stocks, maybe with a drop down fair or being able to pop him upwards before finding an up air to take the stock, that's something that he's been excelling at most recently.
I 100% agree. Like, both off stage and on ledge, Xero's just been completely dominating. So what we're going to want to see from Zexyyy here, if we still want to pull out this win in this game number 5,
Yes.
which right off the bat, love to see it, is we're going to want to see just more dominant on-stage gameplay. Take greater advantage of our opportunities on stage, and also like mix up our options when we're trying to get off of ledge, because that's really what's been the thorn in our side for these past 2 games.
Yeah, it's something that we see the struggle with a little previously from Zexyyy, but trying to show some signs of life, you know, having all of the tools of his arsenal set up, having the war of attrition that you really want to utilize, especially because Xero's been using a lot more PK fire. He wants to have everything else to prevent him from overextending.
Yep. Great catch on that dash attack there, but Xero is going to make it off of that ledge with a nair. And this is kind of like the position that Zexyyy wants to be playing in. Obviously not getting grabbed, but because you're a projectile character that Ness doesn't really have the greatest time against, because the PSI magnet is not going to be absorbing the arrow or the boomerang. And, oh, I thought we were going to see an up air there. Really good on Xero, knowing that Zexyyy was going to tech there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was, you know, sometimes you do seriously have to wait for the chance to be able to take a stock like that. And having 3 stocks apiece, you know that this is a very critical moment, and that whomever is the one to take the first stock can establish some very important momentum necessary. And Xero actually trying to snuff that out where he is, but Zexyyy just wants to get all of this extra credit, wants to change it up and take the game 5 from him. Look at all of this, 71% already.
Yeah, you said it. This is just really all across the board been a very advantage state heavy matchup, as Zexyyy pulls out yet another stock. He still has yet to have the first one taken off of him. Xero. Oh wait, I think the bomb actually saved Zexyyy there. That was kind of unfortunate for Xero. Gonna have to find yet another strong hit on Zexyyy here, but Zexyy's pulling out all these up airs, making it impossible to interact with him.
This is the most dominant that we have seen Zexyyy thus far. Xero finally going to be taking that stock with the dash attack. No more full rage for Zexyyy, but perhaps not enough to staunch the bleeding. Already at 95%, that air dodge away, really unfortunate to go straight into the boomerang. Successfully able to make it back, but it is just a complete battlefield out here with all of these bombs and boomerangs keeping him from his path.
Yep, and Zexyyy's just been a lot more bold with like a lot of these aerials. Like that one down air out of disadvantage, just wait, hold, that could have been sick. I was gonna let him cook there, but Zexyyy getting out of that, getting pressure on ledge here. Xero showing some signs of life. Gonna be looking for these backers, not quite gonna find them. Get the fair though, because, ooh, really good down smash.
We are seeing some, perhaps a bit more of a heartbeat. The turnaround, what was that? That was not what Zexyyy was expecting at all. Xero not going to be going for the kill, but there is Zexyyy with the fair, taking game number 5 over Xero in a hard-fought nail fight.